కొత్తవే కదా ఇవి.
That's map.
All right, sir. Now, so coming to the content, what we completed in the last session. All right, sir. In the last class, just we are discussing about steps to prepare first JDBC application. But that part we are discussing there. In the steps to prepare first JDBC application, what exactly the content is available. Now, please try to check this. If you want to prepare any JDBC application, first of all, what we have to do there, download and install database software. What are these database softwares that we already installed there? Oracle 21XE, and the next one is what there? MySQL 8.3. Download and install Java softwares. Already we knows about it. Java 7. Then what next one here? Java 8 or Java 17. Download and install latest IDE, Eclipse or IntelliJ IDEA, but already we installed what there? Eclipse IDE, the very latest version. Create Java project with the main method in IDE with the main class, main method in IDE. Provide JDB's application logic in main method in main class. What is the JDB's logic here we provided there? First one is what there? Load and register driver. The second one is what there? Establish connection with between Java application and database. Create statement or prepared statement or callable statement as per the requirement. Write and execute SQL queries. Then what next one here? Close the resources. These are the things here we are going to understand clearly. Next one is after that, we started already installation of the Oracle database and we started already MySQL installation process. Then after that, we are going to see like what there, JDBC logic here we are started. Load and register the driver step already, we started there. Right, sir. The point is what there, if you want to load and register the driver, first of all here what we have to do there, first of all, we have to make available the driver class to the JDBC program. To make available driver class to the JDBC program, there we have to go for like what there, we need to set a class path environment variable. To set a class path environment variable, first we have to understand where is the driver class. If we observe the driver class information, first what we have to do, driver is an interface provided by Sun Microsystems and its implementation classes are provided by all the database vendors in their database softwares. What we are getting there, driver is an interface provided by Sun Microsystems and its implementation classes are provided by all the database vendors in their database softwares. That means our driver implementation is available in the database softwares. Observe carefully. So if we install Oracle database, there our driver implementation class is available. If we install MySQL database, there our driver implementation class is available. If you want to load the driver class to the memory, that means if you want to load driver class to the memory, first we have to make available driver class to the JDBC application. For this we have to set which environment variable there? Class path environment variable. Set a class path is equal to C:/Oracle 21XE DB home XE something else. The jar file is available to the jar file here we have to search. If we use IDE like Eclipse, then we will add OJDBC11.jar file to the project build path. That's okay, fine. Next one is what there after that. If we use type on driver in JDBC applications, then it is not required to set a class path environment variable. Why it is not required to set class path environment variable? Already type 1 driver class was provided in the same Java software. So in which way exception class is available, in which way like what there, in which way thread class is available, in which way array list class is available, in the same way driver is available in our Java software. So for using that, not required to set any class path environment variable. Next one. If we want to use type 1 driver in JDB's applications, then we have to configure ODBC driver in our computer. How to set this ODBC driver in our computer? There some few steps here are given. Go to control panel, select system and security, select administrative tools, double click on ODBC data sources 64-bit, select the user DSN tab, click on add button, select the required database. Now in our case Oracle DB21 home, click on finish button, provide DSN name. In my system I given my name as a DSN name, click on OK button, click on OK button. That's it. Automatically for a type 1 driver we are able to perform like what there, the DSN configuration here we are able to perform. If we select MySQL database, then we have to provide the following details. What details here we have to do? If it is a MySQL, no, select a MySQL ODBC 8.0 Unicode driver. That means up to which steps are very much common here, no, we can understand clearly. Select up to this one here, go to control panel, select system and security, administrative tools, double click on ODBC data 64-bit and user DSN add button. Now here, all right sir, up to these many steps are very much common. Up to these many steps are very much common here, we can understand. All right, now here itself I am telling to you. Right, sir. Go to control panel, select system and security, select administrative tools, double click on ODBC data sources 64-bit, select user DSN tab, click on add button, then select what there, MySQL ODBC 8.0 Unicode driver. This is for the sake of what database there, MySQL. Type 1 driver only, MySQL. Previously type 1 driver with Oracle. Click on fill the data source name, the password is Roach. Then database name is what there, DurgaDB. Click on OK button, click on OK button, that's it. So we can select, we can provide that ODBC driver configuration for both the databases, Oracle and as well as like what there, MySQL. Anything here we can use. Next one is after completion of this. When driver class is available in JDB's applications, then we have to load and register driver class. For this, we have to use a separate method. What is that method here? We have used there for name method. So public static class for name string driver class throws class not found exception. There are some examples here I've given there. What are the examples here I've given there? Class dot for name of sun dot jdbc dot odbc dot jdbc odbc driver, or maybe if it is a type 4 driver provided by Oracle, class dot for name of oracle dot jdbc dot oracle driver. If it is like what there, MySQL database provided driver, class dot for name of com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. When we execute the above instruction, JVM will perform the following actions. What actions are performed by JVM here? JVM will take the driver class from for name method and JVM will search for the driver class dot class file at the following locations. At what locations it is available here? At the current location, at Java predefined library, and at the locations referred by class path environment variable. Right, sir. If the required dot class file is not available at all the above locations, then JVM will raise an exception like what there, java.lang class not found exception. If the required driver dot locations, then immediately JVM will load the driver class batch code to the memory. At the time of loading driver class batch code to the memory, JVM will execute what block there? Static block. You know already one point. If you have any static block in any class, the static block will be executed at the time of loading the respective class batch code. Am I right or not? The static block will be executed at the time of loading the respective class batch code to the memory. Where inside the static block, JVM will execute driver manager.register driver method. Inside the static block, JVM will execute what there? Driver manager.register driver method. This method will register JDBC driver with our application. That means the driver is available between Java application and database. It able to map Java representations to database representations to Java representations. After loading driver class batch code to the memory, JVM will create java.lang.class object with the metadata of the driver class in heap memory. Note here, notes are given there. Right, type 1 driver is available in JDK up to JDK 1.7 version, not existing from JDK 1.8 version onwards. Type 1 driver support is provided by Java up to 1.7 version only. After that, it is not available. Another point is like what there? Another note, load and register driver step is optional when we use JDK 1.8 or JDBC 3.0 version and Oracle 11xA. Next one, another point here. Load and register driver step is optional when we use JDK 1.8 version, JDBC 3.0 version and MySQL 5.8 version. Next one is load and register driver step is optional in the case of type 1 driver also with the same configurations. Any driver, whatever it may be, JDBC 3.0 version or maybe the respective Oracle versions, on the base of that, on the base of the database versions, no, load and register driver step is optional, not required to write like what there, class.forName method. In all the above cases, JVM will load and register the driver when we establish connection between Java application and database. That means in the second step, automatically JVM will load and register the driver class here. In the second step, automatically JVM will load and register the driver class. Already, these points already we have discussed there. Try to recognize this. Then now, whatever the internal flow of execution here we shown about this particular one, about this particular content here, I want to show some information about it. Now try to understand it now. Some internal coding part I am going to discuss with you. How this code is available. That internal coding part here I want to discuss with you. Now try to understand it clearly. Right, sir. What I'm going to do there? First of all, now tell me. You only tell me. Public interface driver. Guys, now tell me. This is a driver interface actually. It is provided by whom? Driver is an interface provided by whom? Sun Microsystems. Am I right or not? Right, sir. Inside this driver, so many things are available, but we don't require immediately. Right, sir. Next one is after that. Now try to understand it, no? Before that, I want to provide one more point. Now here, public class driver manager. Public class driver manager. Inside this driver manager class, what we want to have there, so many members are available. This driver manager is a crucial component in JDBC. Okay, but so many things are available inside what there? Driver manager. Where one of the method is what there? Public static void register driver method is existed. Some native implementations available, no need to think much about it. Public class driver manager, register driver method. This is also be provided by whom here? Sun Microsystems. This is also be provided by whom? Sun Microsystems. Get my point or not? Next one, after that. After completion of this, public interface driver, Sun Microsystems is available. Then after that, after completion of this, public class, this is an implementation class. We can understand this clearly. Oracle driver implements driver. Inside this, we are having so many methods implementation, but along with all of them, there is a static method. There is a static method. Inside the static block, not static method actually, inside the static block, there is a method called like what there, driver manager dot register driver is available. Okay. Now inside this register driver method, logic to register the driver. Logic to register the driver, but here parameter is also existed here. Some parameter not required. Driver object instance is going to be provided. Leave this one. This is a code, guys. Okay. Now up to this part is available here. Now this is provided by whom? Driver is an interface is provided by Sun Microsystems, and its implementation class are provided by database vendors. Now this is provided by whom? Oracle. Oracle people have provided this implementation class. Here driver is an interface provided by Sun Microsystems. Implementation class is provided by Oracle Corporation. Now here, this is my JDB's application. This is our JDB's application, user defined JDB's application. Now this is provided by developer, JDBC program. Now inside this, what we are able to provide there, public static void main string array args. Then inside this, public static void main string array args. Then inside this, then what we have to do there, observe carefully. Of course, we are going to write like what there. Inside the main method, we are able to write throws SQL exception. Class dot for name of, here we can write like what there, any driver. Oracle dot JDBC dot Oracle driver, if you write like this. Maybe if you are using type 1 driver, there we can write like what there, like sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. Anything we can take. But as an example, I'm taking type 4 driver provided by Oracle in the explanation now. Right guys, now I'm asking to all of you guys, now try to answer for it. This is a program prepared by the developer. This driver manager class was provided by Sun Microsystems. Answer my point here. Driver is an interface provided by Sun Microsystems. Driver implementation class, Oracle driver, is provided by whom? Oracle Corporation. Everything is available in our JDBC program, along with JDBC program. Now I provided JDBC program. Inside this JDBC program, when we execute this program there, JVM will execute main method. Inside the main method, JVM is going to execute what method here? Class.forName method. Then immediately, what the JVM will do now? Immediately, what JVM is able to do now? Observe carefully. JVM will execute class.forName method. Part of the class.forName method, what it able to do? It will take the fully qualified name of the driver class from class.forName method. Fully qualified name of the driver class. Here we are getting there. Observe carefully. Whenever we are getting this Oracle.jdbc.Oracle driver class, immediately JVM will search for this Oracle driver class at a current location, at Java predefined library, and at the locations referred by class path environment variable. Definitely, at a class path environment variable, we can see this Oracle driver class. When JVM is identifying this Oracle driver class, immediately JVM will load that Oracle driver class batch code to the memory. At the time of loading this Oracle driver class batch code to the memory, automatically what is going to be executed here now? Static block will be executed. What is going to be executed there? Static block is going to be executed. Part of the static block execution, what method is going to be executed here? Driver manager dot register driver method will be executed. Then it will go to the driver manager class where register driver method will be executed. With this, what is going to be happen here now? Logic to register driver will be executed. Means that logic to make ready our driver between Java application and database. It is going to be available. By the execution of this particular logic, automatically the driver will be available between Java application and database. It is ready to map Java to database and database to Java. This is the total internal flow of execution here we can understand. Guys, all of you are getting my point here, what I am telling you now. See this one, once again, I am going to show that flow of execution to you. First of all, now what is going to be executed? When developer is executing JDB's application, main method will be executed. Inside the main method, JVM will execute what there? Class.forName method. What the JVM is able to do, guys, now tell me. First, JVM will take that provided driver class name from forName method. What is that provided driver class name there? Oracle.jdbc.Oracle driver. Then what next one here after that? JVM will search for this particular driver class dot class file at 3 locations. At what are the locations it able to search there? At a current location, at Java predefined library, and at the locations referred by class path environment variable. At all 3 locations, if this driver dot class file is not available, there we are able to get class not found exception. If it is available at either of these 3 locations, then immediately what we are able to get there? For example, if this Oracle driver class is available at either of these three locations, no, immediately JVM will load this Oracle driver class batch code to the memory. At the time of loading this Oracle driver class batch code to the memory, automatically static block will be executed. What is this static block? Here, static block of driver manager dot register driver method will be executed. Observe carefully. When it is executing driver manager dot register driver method, flow of execution will go to what their driver manager class, where it will execute what their register driver method. By the execution of this, automatically the logic to register the driver is going to be executed. By the execution of this logic to register the driver, automatically driver will be available between Java application and database, and it is ready to map Java representations to database representations and database representations to Java representation. In that way, we are able to load and register driver. There two actions are performed or not? Loading the driver, registration of the driver. What is the requirement of load the driver? To register the driver only. Actual requirement is what there? Register the driver. But how we are able to register the driver in the sense that is by loading the driver class byte code. Understand it now? All the points are very much sequenced. Try to understand the sequence now. I'm asking there. This is a register driver method. To execute this register driver method only, the static block has to be executed. To execute the static block only, we have to load the driver class. To load the driver class only, we are using what method? Class.forName method. Yes guys, all of you are getting my point or not? What's the point I'm telling you? Sequence. What are the sequence here? First of all, now tell me, my final target is what there? I have to execute register driver method. To execute this register driver method, we have to load the driver manager class. That means, sorry, to execute this register driver method, we have to load what there? We have to execute static block. To execute static block, we have to load what there? Register driver class. To load this register driver class, then what we have to do there? We have to use what there? Class.forName method. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? This is internally how the JDBC is going to be organized. Internal code of this JDBC code here. Get my point or not? Alright, sir. Leave this one. So this is overall step number 1, what we completed. This is exactly like what there? Step number 1. Next one here, after completion of this. The second step here, what I am telling to you, the second point, establish connection between Java application and database. Establish connection between Java application and database. Observe carefully what I am telling you. Establish a connection between Java application and database. Okay, fine. Establish a connection between Java application and database. Now let's observe carefully. First of all, tell me, then before that, now I want to prepare a diagram here. In the diagram, we can understand where we are up to now. What exactly the part we are there up to now, just let us understand this diagram here. See this, all of you know. This is database. Database. This is Java application. database engine. Now here at the database side only, we need to have, in the case if you are thinking about type 1 driver, their ODBC driver will be existed at what side there? Database side only. Okay, observe carefully. Now here we are going to represent like what there? ODBC driver. If you are thinking in the point of like what there? Type 1 driver, if you observe this clearly. Or else, if you are not using type 1 driver, not required to manage like what there, this is not required to be provided. Guys, all of you are getting my point here, what I am telling to you. If you think type 1 driver, then ODBC driver is required. If you are not thinking type 1 driver, then what we are doing there? Directly at Java side, we are able to have JDBC driver. This is like what I am telling there, JDBC driver. Okay, now here, this is already existed here at Java side. This is available at database side. Now the database engine will open the database doors through username and password. By using username and password, database engine will open the database. Right, so JDBC driver. Then how we are able to manage this JDBC driver here? If you have to this, there the very first instruction here, what we are able to provide there, we can understand in section number 1, class dot for name of here we can use like what there, Oracle dot JDBC dot Oracle driver. This is type 4 driver provided by Oracle. I'm using there. Or if you are using type 1 driver or driver class name here, we have to use the class, that means sun dot JDBC dot ODBC dot JDBC ODBC driver. But anyway, no issues, at any driver here we can type. This is what we have there in JDBC. Sir, all of you get my point or not? Where we are at JDBC in the sense, this is the location where we are in a JDBC content. Clear to all of you up to now? Just we make ready JDBC driver between Java application and database. Between these two, this driver is ready. Right. Now I want to prepare this diagram parallelly to all the steps here. Now let us see this one. Right. So now here I want to write like what there, JDBC architecture. Observe this clearly. This is, I want to prepare this diagram continuously. Now we have to understand this clearly. Right, sir. Then after that, what is that next step here now? Establish the connection between Java application and database. Okay, establish the connection between Java application and database. Observe carefully, all of you know. Connection in the sense, socket connection between Java application and database. Right, sir. To establish connection between Java application and database, to establish connection between Java application and database, then we have to use the following method from java.sql dot driver manager class. There is a predefined method. There we are going to use what there? java.sql dot driver manager class. Okay. Right, sir. Then what exactly this method here? Observe carefully. Method would be public static connection get a connection, where 3 methods. What are the 3 methods? No, first one is like what there, string driver URL comma string db username comma string db password. Here what we are able to provide there, throws SQL exception. That's it. This is what exactly the method here we can understand. Method name is what there, get connection. Return type is what there, connection. And which type of method is no, static method. Static method in the sense we can access this method by using class name or not. In general, static methods are accessible by using class name or not. Definitely we have to use class name. Now tell me guys, how many parameters are available here? 3 parameters are available. What are the 3 parameters now? String database username, string database password, and string driver URL. Throws SQL exception. I want to give some description about all the things. Where DB username and DB password, DB username and what next one here, DB password. That means these two are what there at the time of installation of the database software. Whatever the username and password we specified, that username and password here we have to provide. Where DB username and password are the database username and database password which we provided at the time of database installation. When we install this database now, at the time we provided some username and password, that username and password here we have to provide. There is a point here I'm telling you now. Guys, got my point or not? Okay, then what next one here now? Driver URL. Now please understand this point clearly. Where driver URL is an URL to connect with, to establish connection from Java application and database. Where driver URL is an URL. Say for example, in general in web also, we are going to connect with the servers. Say for example, whenever we are providing www.facebook.com, that's a domain name basically. The domain name is mapped with one URL internally. Say for example, when we type www.facebook.com, enter button, automatically one URL will come there. HTTPS colon slashes, some address, IP address, colon, port number, something else we are able to get now. So that is an URL to connect with what their Facebook server. Similarly, when we type www.gmail.com, with respect to this particular domain name, internally one URL is available. That URL can be used to connect with what their Gmail server. Similarly, if you want to connect with the database from Java application, here also we required what there, one URL is required. Definitely what we required here, one URL is required. That URL we have to provide in the form of like what their driver URL. So the point here what I am telling to you, in a JDBC, every driver will have its own driver class and driver URL. Every understand my point here. JDBC every driver will have its own driver class and a driver URL. Driver class are okay, we can understand it clearly. But driver URLs are available in a particular form. Where I'm giving clarity, understand it. Where every driver URL will be in the following syntax. Will be in the following format. What is that format? You know, you have to understand there. That format will be, observe carefully, main protocol name colon sub protocol name colon main protocol name colon sub protocol name colon DSN name. DSN name is what there? Right, sir. Some database name. Understand it clear. DSN name in the sense what there? Some database name that we are able to provide. DB name. This is the driver URL. Then one more point I'm telling to you, where main protocol name should be JDBC. Main protocol name should be what there? JDBC. Observe carefully. In JDBC, every driver will have its own driver class and driver URL. where every driver URL will be in the form in the following format. What is that format? You know, main protocol name colon sub protocol name colon database name. Where main protocol name should be what there? JDBC. Understand it clearly. Example I am telling to you. Example 1. Type 1 driver provided by Sun Microsystems. Sun Microsystems. If you observe this point here, understand it clearly. Driver class. What is this driver class actually? Sun dot JDBC dot ODBC dot JDBC ODBC driver. That means this is driver class I'm telling there. Next one is what there? Driver URL. Driver URL. Insert this driver URL, then what we are able to get there? JDBC colon ODBC colon DSNM we created now. DSNM. That means for Oracle database separately we created DSNM. For MySQL we created separate DSNM. That DSNM here we have to provide. In my system, I created what DSNM there. With my name, I created DSNM here. That we have to understand. This is what example here now, type 1 driver provided by Sun Microsystem. Now observe carefully here. Driver URL, main protocol name colon, sub protocol name colon, database name. JDBC, where main protocol name should be what there? JDBC. JDBC is a main protocol name. ODBC is a sub protocol name. Your database name is what there? Not. DSNM. Right, sir. Next one is what there? Example 2. Example 2. Type 4 driver provided by Oracle. Only well-known databases information only we are going to understand. Not every driver here now. Alright, so now inside this, then what we are able to provide there now? Driver class name. Driver class. What is this driver class actually? Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver. This is what I am telling there, newer one, present one. But another one is also available. What is this another one? Oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. This is what they deprecated. Guys, can you tell me what is the meaning of deprecated now? What is the meaning of deprecated here? Outdated. Older one. This is like what I am telling to you, it's a older one. Outdated. Not in use at present. Only this one here we are using. This driver package is available now, sub package now. That is an outdated package, not in use. Only this one is utilized nowadays. That's okay, fine. Now this is like what there? Driver class. Then after that here, what we have to provide there? Driver URL. Next one. Driver URL. What is this driver URL actually? JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon @ localhost colon 1521 colon XE. Now observe carefully. Here JDBC is a main protocol name. Oracle thin @ localhost 1521 is what their sub protocol name. XE is what their database name. Observe carefully. Now this is type 2 driver, type 4 driver provided by Oracle Corporation. Similarly, example that I am telling there. Type 4 driver provided by MySQL database. Type 4 driver provided by what there? MySQL database. What exactly the driver is available here? Understand this clearly. Driver class. Now here we can understand like what there com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. This is driver class. com.mysql.cj.jdbc. Then what next one here? Driver. Observe carefully. Then after that, driver class is okay. Driver URL. What is this driver URL here? We can understand, no? JDBC colon, observe carefully, JDBC colon, MySQL colon, /s, localhost colon, 3306 / Durga DB. If you observe this one clearly, JDBC is a main protocol name, MySQL MySQL :/s localhost 3306 slash up to this is what their subprotocol name. DurgaDB is what their database name. In MySQL, for every project, a separate database we are going to create. So DurgaDB is my database name. That's enough. In that way, here we are able to provide like what there, all the examples. Understand clearly? Just have given only the prototype of the method. In JDB's applications, to establish the connection between Java application and database, then we have to use the following method from java.sql.driver manager class. What is this method actually? Public static connection get connection. There we are providing like what are the three parameters. What are the three parameters here we provided there? String driver URL, string database username, string database password. Then what next one? Throws SQL exception. Where database username and database password that we are going to provide what we have specified at the time of installation of the respective database. When I install Oracle database, I given system and Durga. Username is system and password is Durga. When I install MySQL database, there are given username and password is what their root and root for MySQL database. So that we have to provide. Next one is what their driver URL. To establish connection between Java application and database there we have to go for like what their driver URL. Every driver must have its own database, that means driver class name and driver URL. Observe carefully. Some examples are given. Every driver should have its own driver database class, that means driver class name, driver URL. But where the driver URL is what there, the driver URL contains like what there, main protocol name colon, subprotocol name colon, database name. Where the main protocol name should be what there, JDBC only. Then here we have used a type 1 driver provided Sun Microsystems. Driver class is what there, sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. Where driver URL is what there, JDBC colon, ODBC colon, DSN name. Type 4 driver provided by Oracle. Driver class name is what there, like Oracle.jdbc.oracle driver new, Oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver deprecated. Driver URL is like what there, JDBC colon, Oracle colon, thin colon at the rate, localhost colon, 1521 colon, XE. Type 4 driver provided by MySQL is what there, driver class, com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver, and driver URL is like what there, this one here we have to provide JDBC colon, MySQL colon /s, localhost colon 3306 slash DurgaDB. That's it guys. Now this is exactly the meaning of like what there, like the drivers, that means establish a connection between Java application and database, what method here we are using, and its methods prototype here we are going to understand. There we have to see some example code for it. Okay, so that example code, that internal content I'll discuss with you guys later on, don't worry. Then tomorrow, then I want to wind up this session here. Then tomorrow, so not required to come here. Then day after tomorrow onwards, we'll have the classes continuously. Maybe 2 days of gap I have taken due to some health issues, no? Then maybe tomorrow no class. Then day after tomorrow, I'll continue the classes continuously, right? Thank you, thanks a lot. We'll meet on day after tomorrow.